Check.
15.
All right. So I'm gonna walk you through this real quick. Has there ever been any redirect?
No.
No. Okay. So
Like he tries to bite you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So go ahead and come on over. So we're gonna trigger this. You're gonna stay right there.
Okay.
I want him to come over so we can see this. Okay. On your remote,
Yeah.
the bumpy button.
Yeah.
Go ahead and press it. Just tap, tap, tap. Right. Go to 20.
Oh,
Take your time. Tap, tap, tap. So he's feeling it.
Yeah.
You see that? Good. Tap, tap, tap. Go to 25. Tap, tap, tap. Go to 30. Tap. Right there. Okay. Tap. Tap. Good. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Hold right there. Tap. Tap. 35. And I'm going to have you go like this to give some space from you. Yep. Hold right there. Tap. Tap. Wait. Good. Tap. Wait. Good. Now I'm going to do it again, okay? Tap. 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 Let's go to 40. Tap. Tap. Good. Good. Tap. 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 So we've lost some contact because earlier you saw how there was a bigger movement and now it's a bit more subtle. This is most likely just because of his fur coat. It's okay, we're not going to adjust right now. You can relax now, okay? Tap, 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 45. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, so you're still feeling it, yep.
Yeah.
Good. Let's go 50.
50.
I feel like we went, oh, it's like mosquito bill over here. Tap,
Yeah, the bug landed on me.
tap, tap. 55.
55.
Tap, tap, tap. Good, wait a moment. Tap, tap. Good. I'm gonna pause right there. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Jesse.
Good, nice to meet you. All
Nice to
right.
meet you.
Yep. So you see how his demeanor's changed? He's still anxious, right? Tap. There you go. Wait a sec. So we still got the anxiety, but at least we toned down the fight response there. So that was a crash course in finding the working number.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's because of his coat. What happens is the fur gets under the probes.
Yeah.
Which is why earlier he was actually feeling 25, 30 pretty good, but then it became subtler. And when it became subtler, that tells me, okay, we have poor contact now, which is why our number is going higher. Okay. Now, yes, we could stop and readjust the collar.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not going to worry about that too much because it's day one, and I just want to get into addressing this issue. The other thing is, life doesn't always allow you to stop and adjust the collar.
Right.
So this is what I call troubleshooting. I usually don't cover troubleshooting until later into training.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, we'll just cover it right now while this is
We're
happening.
here.
Right? So troubleshooting is, I had contact with my dog. I no longer have contact. I need to achieve contact. And we do that just by increasing the level, okay? The reason why this is an important skill is if he happened to be off leash and you happen to have lost contact and you need him to do something, you have to figure it out
Quickly.
in the moment. Exactly. Right now, there's no emergency. There's nothing, going on. There's like, oh, we have to get this done, right? So we take our time. So with finding a dog's working number, I typically start at 15 and I go in increments of 5. Okay, so we went 15, 20, 25, 30, and we landed at what now?
56.
56, right? So he was being reactive. Once we hit like the 30, 35 range, he started to dial down a little bit. I think once we hit 40, 45, he actually stopped. But the reason why I had you keep going forward or going higher is because since we lost contact, I'm looking for an obvious response from Blue.
A consistent.
Right? Blue in English.
Yeah.
So let's say he's standing, you tap him at 55, and he sits, right? It's a very drastic change in behavior because he goes from standing to sitting. So then I'd go, oh, 55 clearly made that happen, so that must be the starting working number. Does that make sense? So like, let's say going forward, he became reactive again. You tapped him at 55, but he continues being reactive. Did it work?
No.
No. So then the working number isn't 55, it's going to be higher. Exactly. So in the beginning, we go in increments of 5 to give you a structure and a method to use. But once you get used to it, you'll go up and down on the collar. You don't even think about the number anymore. Okay? So the number doesn't matter. It's just now as you're learning. But then you'll find, oh, you know, we're walking down the block and it's like a lot of dogs, 45. Oh, Jesse's walking up, 65. Oh, there's his arch nemesis, 85, right? Oh, it's a calm environment, 25. Like you just go up and down, you don't even think about it anymore. Does that make sense? All right, so I'm gonna CV triggers again. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, tap. Good. Come a little closer. No, I'm gonna come closer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tap. Good. Hold. Good. So you see how he's going behind your leg now? Okay. Tail wagging a little bit low. Tap. Good. Tap. Tap. Good. Hold. Good. See how he backs away? So he gave that up. Okay. Now this is a bit more advanced. I don't want you to worry about this right now. This is to show you, there we go, how quick remote collar can work. Okay, when you know how to use it correctly. Now, this is with 0 conditioning, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, we want to condition a dog appropriately first, ideally, but sometimes this happens. Where I get a client that shows up, the dog is being super reactive, and sometimes it's so loud we can't even have a conversation.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, well, how am I going to train you? How am I going to teach you if we can't even have a conversation?
Yeah.
So I have to address the behavior first. So the reason why we're able to address this with 0 training with the remote collar is because dogs are physical creatures. They nip and bite each other,
Yeah.
right?
So the feelings.
Exactly, it's physical feelings. So you're using a physical feeling, and we didn't just jump to 55 or whatever. We started at 15, and then we gradually worked our way up. So then for Azul, he's like, okay, this thing's been around and it started here, now it's up here, right? So now he starts to realize, well, I must have something to do with this, because the more I continue with this behavior, the more this continues to go up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's logic there. So when we see these aggressive behaviors, like I have a client that I saw yesterday for a follow-up, her previous trainer, because it was similar with lunge at people, told her to do continuous for six seconds, okay? And the problem never got better. The dog actually got neurotic. And I told her it's because it was such a harsh correction that the dog can't think through it. So when you were pressing the button and you saw the contraction, it's like a dog bite, right? But then we gave space and go, what does he do next? He continues the lunge, clearly didn't work, we do it again. Continues the lunge, didn't work, do it again. Continues the lunge, raise it up in a few levels, right? And we kept doing that, and eventually he's like, okay, what happens if I stop? Nothing happens, right? Then I came into your personal space. He became reactive because I'm closing the gap. Makes sense. We corrected him, and then you start to see him like, okay, I'm not going to bark now. I'm only going to growl. I'm only going to show teeth, right? And we corrected him for that too. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to give this up, and I'm actually going to retreat by moving backwards. And then after he did that, he finally gave us the lay down. Whereas earlier, he was stuck in an anxious state. Does that make sense? So e-collar does 2 things. It can teach a dog what to do, and it can teach a dog what not to do. So this would be the what not to do.
Okay.
Okay. Now notice there were no words here either, right? We didn't say no. We didn't say nothing like that. The remote does all the talking for us.
All the communicating.
Yes. So humans were so used to using words, is if you said no and then corrected him, you're creating what we would call a cued behavior. So technically,
So with that word.
With that word. So what does that mean, do you think, for Azul?
That a tap is coming? Or?
That a tap is coming, right? Okay. So he can technically do what then?
Kind of
Stop or ignore you.
If you tell him the word, you kind of cue him, right? So you're telling him something's coming, like
You're telling him
warning him.
something's coming,
Yeah.
right? So then
So
what's happening is, if you don't say the word, he can technically do it.
Yeah.
You see that? And that's what screws up people, is where everybody says no.
Yeah.
Everybody says So the dog thinks that the collar is tied to the word.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't hear the word, he can technically do the behavior.
Gotcha.
So that's why I don't use words. So now what he's thinking is when I decide to bark at Jesse, when I decide to growl at Jesse, that happens.
Yeah.
So now he's relating it to his decision, which is what we ultimately want. So the human's going, no, stop it, and don't ever do it again.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
They don't understand
They
words.
don't understand
Yeah.
that. Yes, you see that difference? So when we do heel and sit and stay, like we need cues for obedience because we have to tell them, now we want you to do this thing, right? But when it comes to behavior, a lot of times the human wants the dog to stop it and then also never do it again, right? But they screw themselves up by saying no or or stop or whatever, and that's why the dogs will continue with the behavior. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Questions on any of that stuff so far?
Makes sense.
So today what we're going to cover is the heel command, which is walking on a leash. This is the foundation for everything. This is what helps him firmly understand how collar turns on and how collar turns off. Okay, most people in the city of Chicago walk their dogs 3 times a day, 7 days a week. So that's 3 times a day, 7 days a week that we get to practice and rehearse this exercise.
Yeah.
Okay? In the beginning, not uncommon to see stress, anxiety, fear, nervousness. Those are all stress responses. E-collar is a stressor. But the way we get them over that is by repeated introduction to it. Typically, people tend to use the collar as a last resort. Like, oh, I'm only going to use this when my dog's at their worst, you know? But then I'm like, but all these things are now going uncorrected, and you will always have to do that. Whereas for me, I correct every single little thing I don't want. And the dog goes, okay, if I don't want to be corrected, I
need to not do that.
need to not do these things. Yeah, pretty simple, right? So the issue is, of course, just consistency. And then, of course, the owner not feeling bad, because a lot of times people feel bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, trust me, like the dog doesn't care. You're not going to ruin the dog. You're not going to make the dog not like you or whatever. You're just now communicating with him in a way that he actually understands. All right?
Yeah.
Questions on any of that? Who's the primary handler here?
We
Who
both
does the most walks?
we take turns, so we don't usually walk together.
Okay.
We'll do like one in the afternoon, one in the evening, one on one. So
And
we
Gotcha.
equally.
We see that if we walk together, it's harder because he gets
He displays a lot of this behavior.
anxious.
Sure.
Like he'll like check up on the other person, cry,
Sure.
like try to walk with the other person that's like not on the leash.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So a lot more anxiety if we both go.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ideally, we would want to walk together.
Yeah, and you
but yeah, it's harder for him.
So go ahead and give him a tap here. So he goes, yeah. So he goes to that now. So you saw how he was becoming anxious?
Yeah.
So what did you just tell him?
To stop.
Yeah, don't be
Yeah.
anxious. You know, so
fine.
he's still anxious, by the way, right? But he's not. There's a difference between practicing anxiety and then what I would call confronting anxiety.
Like reacting.
Yes. So, or not reacting. Confronting would be dealing with it, right? So practicing anxiety is the reacting,
Okay.
is the pacing around, right?
Okay.
He was pacing. You said don't do that.
Yeah.
He laid down, so he's still anxious, but anxiety wants to move.
Right.
So instead, he's sitting still, and that's how he's dealing with the anxiety now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's hard for people to understand that you can correct emotional states. I can correct a fear state. I can correct an anxious state. I can correct a nervous state. I can correct an aggressive state.
Yeah.
Right? Because as a human, if you felt anxious or something, you'd want consolation, you know, or you tell yourself like everything's gonna be okay, right? Something like that. Whereas for dogs, they go, yeah, that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
So once you see it and once you experience it, you're like, oh wow, like I'm coddling my dog. I think I'm doing something good for them by trying to console them, but really I'm just like making them think they should be angry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. He's like, don't pet him. Like, don't do anything because
Yes.
you're just feeding
Yes.
that
Okay.
behavior.
Yes. So now you're actively telling him what you want him to do, which is stop being aggressive,
Right.
stop being reactive, stop being anxious. Okay. So the more black and white you are with that approach, the faster he gets better. Okay. Now another thing on a side note, you see how his mouth is open, right?
Yeah.
We call this venting or a relaxation state.
Right.
Did you notice how it was just closed a moment ago?
Because he gets tense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's an easy way to tell when he's going under stress.
Yeah.
A closed mouth isn't bad. So he closed his mouth when that sound went off, and he's like, okay, that has nothing to do with me. He lets the mouth go open again. Okay. But it's an easy way to read your dog
Yeah.
to know if something might happen. So
Yeah.
we don't correct the closed mouth It's just letting you know, hey,
he's aware.
I don't like what's going on right now. And then what happens next is what we really care about. Now, the exception would be there was a dog that passed by earlier.
Yeah.
He closed his mouth and he kind of stared
He
for a bit.
fixated.
And then he let it go after like 3 seconds. Okay. So I go, okay, if he would have continued with it, then I could have corrected that too, going, you don't need to stare for that long.
Right.
Make sense? Questions on any of that stuff so far?
No, that makes sense, I guess. With the anxiety thing, it's like more so like it's okay. We just want him to correct the behaviors that are unwanted versus like he's still anxious, clearly, but his response is more acceptable now because he's on the floor versus like trying to bite you or like bark at you.
Correct. So tap. Wait a sec. All right. See, I'm thinking through. Wait a sec. This is all thinking right now. Tap. Yep. This is more thinking. There it goes. Yes.
Good job.
It is okay that he gets anxious.
Right.
What is not okay is how he handles
How he reacts, yeah.
the anxiety. Correct. Right. So this is why when we start correcting the aggression and stuff, he's like, all right, I got to find another way to deal with this. And then we show him what to do instead. So a lot of times people think we're just suppressing the behavior. I go, no, we're not suppressing it. We're telling the dog that's not an option. Right? So if I get stressed out and I get pissed drunk every night, is that healthy?
No.
No. Right? But if I get stressed out and I go to the gym, work out, go for a run.
Better response.
Exactly. It's still a stress response, but I'm outletting it in a healthier way.
Yeah.
Same thing for the dog. Okay. So typically when we're dealing with tap. Yep. Wait a sec. Wait a sec. He's thinking here. He's thinking still. Tap. Yep. Thinking. Thinking. Tap. Tap. Thinking. There it is. Right. Do you know how I can tell he's thinking?
Because he's just like pacing.
Yeah, he's moving.
Yeah.
Right? So the pacing is the anxiety. The tap tells him stop being anxious. The moving around in response is him trying to figure out, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
So, and then every time he came to a stop, that was the decision, and that's when we would tap again. We did that 2 to 3 times, and then finally we got back what we wanted.
Yeah.
Okay? And again, this is with zero conditioning. So this is what I would phrase as like talking to your dog as another dog. Okay?
Yeah.
So now you see why I use remote collar, because it's when you know how to use it very well, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay? Questions?
No?
All right, how are we
Makes
feeling
sense.
so far?
Good.
A lot better than when we
Yeah, a
started.
lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.